The NASCAR Busch Series comes to Louisville, Kentucky for the first time ever for the Granger Select 200 at the Louisville Motor Speedway. 68 laps, and there will be 27 cars in this race. In an area that is dominated by Ford, it's a Marshall Motors front row with Danny Marshall on the pole and Grant Adcox in second as NASCAR waves the green flag in the Bluegrass State. Lap 36, Marshall still leads, but Adcox is closing in on him. However, it was a dominating performance for the Marshall Company as Danny Marshall will get his third win of 1988 at Louisville. An absolute dominant performance. Danny Marshall wins, Tommy Ellis is second, Larry Pearson third, Grant Adcox fourth, Jimmy Hensley fifth, Eddie Ottinger sixth, Richie Evans seventh, Rick Mast eighth, Jack Ingram ninth, and Sam Ard rounds out the top 10. We head next to the Myrtle Beach Speedway for the Myrtle Beach 200. 36 cars will race, and there will be 60 laps. Tommy Ellis is on the pole with Larry Pearson starting next to him as we go racing at Myrtle Beach. Lap 38, after green flag pit stops, Grant Adcox is now leading with Hensley and Ellis battling him for the lead. 11 to go. Ellis and Hensley battle for second, and Ellis gets a huge run into turn 1. He gets around Adcox. Jimmy Hensley will also follow. This has got to be frustrating for Grant Adcox, as he is still looking for win number 1 this season. 5 to go, and Jimmy Hensley has to pit. He cannot make it on fuel, so what does this mean for the others? Hensley, however, was able to pit at the right time before everyone else, and he is cycled back around as the leader, and Jimmy Hensley will win at Myrtle Beach. Jimmy Hensley wins, Ed Barrier gets second, Jimmy Spencer third, Ronald Cooper fourth, 5th is Tommy Houston, 6th is Steve Grissom, Ronnie Silver in 7th, Elton Sawyer 8th, Sam Ard 9th, and Mike Alexander in 10th. Race 19 on the season takes us to Rougemont, North Carolina for the Poole Equipment 150. 60 laps and only 23 cars in this race. Jimmy Hensley is on the pole with Mike Swaim starting second as we're underway in Rougemont. And trouble on the first lap. Mike Swaim loses control and he hits the wall. What a tough break as he had such a great qualifying run. And Larry Pollard also slams into the back of him. With that, we restart on lap 7. Lap 12, Billy Standridge runs into Ronnie Silver and slides into the wall, but he keeps going. Then just a lap later, Ronald Cooper loses control and he smacks the wall, bringing out the second caution of the day. We get back to racing on lap 19. Sam Ard looks to the inside and oh no! Jimmy Hensley into the wall! Major implications, and this will take him out of the running to win. But he does keep going. Turn 3 looks like a dangerous territory at this track. Lap 25, Sam Ard leads at the restart, and then one lap later, Grant Adcox goes for the lead, and now Sam Ard into the wall! What is with turn 3 at this track? It looks like he made a bit of contact with Adcox as well when that happened. Grant Adcox now leads at the restart on lap 32. Lap 35, turn 3 strikes again. This time it's the points leader, Richie Evans, into the wall. The next restart comes with 19 to go. One lap later, Tommy Houston, who was running in third, slides up the track into the wall in turn 1. And Ed Barrier has nowhere to go and slams into Houston. Barrier is done for the day. We restart next with 12 laps to go. Okay, so much for that. This will be the last restart with 5 to go, with Adcox leading and Rick Mast in second. 3 laps to go. Rick Mast goes high up the track and slides in the wall while battling Eddie Ottinger for second, and that will pretty much do it at Rougemont. Grant Adcox gets his first win of 1988 and a much needed win for him. Grant Adcox is your winner, Eddie Ottinger second, Larry Pearson third, Jack Ingram fourth, Jimmy Spencer fifth, Ronnie Silver 6th, Rob Moroso 7th, Mike Alexander 8th, Tommy Ellis 9th, and Sam Ard in 10th. Following the race today, a lot of drivers weren't too pleased with the racing surface at Rougemont, and NASCAR will be taking a look at the track. We head next to the Oxford Plains Speedway in Maine for the Oxford 250. 75 laps, and we will have 36 cars in this race. Larry Pearson and Mike Alexander lead the field to the green flag at Oxford. Lap 34, Larry Pearson is working around lap traffic and he is wasting no time. He turns the one of Pete Silva, and Grant Adcox gets collected as well as Larry Pollard and Bruce Haley in the 72. Lap 42, Jimmy Hensley is shown the leader after shuffling up on pit stops, and we get back up through the gears. Lap 59, Rick Mast gets sent hard into the wall on the front stretch by Jamie Albee, and Mast was sent flipping a very hard hit. In the end, Jimmy Hensley would dominate the race and go on to win at Oxford. Jimmy Hensley wins, Ronnie Silver 2nd, Tommy Houston 3rd, Billy Sanders 4th, Steve Grissom 5th, Joe Thurman 6th, Dick McCabe in 7th, Larry Pearson 8th, Eddie Ottinger 9th, and Mike Alexander in 10th. Rick Mast only suffered a few bruises from that crash, and he will continue on to the next race. Ten races to go after this race. We're back at South Boston for the Coors 200. 76 laps, and we'll have 31 cars in this race. Rick Mast is on the pole after that scary crash at Oxford, and Grant Adcox will start next to him as the green flag waves at South Boston. Mast pulls away with the lead while Adcox is hung out to dry on the outside. Lap 61, Mast is having a dominating performance, but Danny Marshall has chased him down, and he takes the lead from Mast. Marshall's car got the right adjustments after his green flag pit stop, and because of that, Danny Marshall would hold off Rick Mast in the closing laps, and he will take the checkered flag at South Boston. Danny Marshall wins, Rick Mast in 2nd, Ronnie Silver 3rd, Jack Ingram 4th, Larry Pearson 5th, Mike Swaim 6th, Ed Barrier 7th, Larry Pollard 8th, Elton Sawyer 9th, and Rob Moroso in 10th. Race 22 takes us back to Hickory Motor Speedway for the Pepsi 200. 29 cars have entered, 29 will race, and there will be 150 laps. Eddie Ottinger is on the pole with Jimmy Hensley starting in 2nd as the green flag flies and we are racing at Hickory. Eddie Ottinger would lead at the start until lap 22 when Jimmy Hensley takes charge. The biggest thing for the leader is weaving their way through lap traffic. Lap 39, Larry Pollard takes the lead from Hensley, and L.D. Ottinger would move to second. Lap 60, Jimmy Hensley is back out in front, and then on lap 78, after green flag pit stops, L.D. Ottinger now leads, but can he hold on? The answer would be no, as on lap 84, Jimmy Hensley takes the lead once again, and then 12 laps to go, Hensley is held up by lap traffic, and Ottinger is caught up, hoping to take the lead. But Hensley is able to hang on, and Jimmy Hensley will win at Hickory in his Days Inn car. This is going to help him big time in the standings. This race had no caution and 10 lead changes among 4 drivers. Jimmy Hensley, your winner. Larry Pearson, second. He's still not won a race this season. Same with Rick Maston, third. L.D. Ottinger, fourth. Larry Pollard in fifth. Grant Adcock, sixth. Jack Ingram, seventh. Tommy Houston, eighth. Elton Sawyer, ninth. And Jimmy Spencer in 10th. NASCAR returns to the newly reconfigured and renovated Riverside out in California, and the Busch Series ventures out west for the first time as well. Danny Marshall will also be in this race, as this marks the first time he's at the track since that horrific wreck last season during the Cup race weekend. 32 cars will race, and there will be 36 laps. Willie T. Ribbs is making another start in Mark Martin's number 06 Ford. He scores the pole for this race, and Sam Ard starts next to him with Danny Marshall in third as the Busch Series races at Riverside for the first time ever. Sam Ard pulls away with an early lead. Fast forward to 5 laps to go. After the final round of green flag pit stops, Danny Marshall has closed in on Sam Ard. Perhaps we see this rivalry shine once more. And in a calm but dominant race, Sam Ard will see the checkered flag, and he will finally return to victory lane at the new look Riverside. Sam Ard is first, Danny Marshall second, Willie T. Ribbs with a good run in third, Rob Moroso fourth, Darrell Waltrip fifth, Dale Earnhardt sixth, Terry Labonte seventh, Richie Evans eighth, Tommy Houston ninth, and Jimmy Hensley rounds out the top 10. The points battle has gotten close between Richie Evans, Mike Alexander, and Jimmy Hensley. The final race we will cover in Part 3, we're back at Bristol Motor Speedway for the Tri-City Pontiac 200. 37 cars are in it, and there will also be 150 laps in this race. Michael Waltrip is making a one-off start. He's on the pole, and Davey Allison starts next to him. Green flag from Bristol. Lap 64, Michael Waltrip continues to dominate the race, but other leaders have kept close to him thanks to lap traffic. He pits a few laps later, but at the same time, Davey Allison loses control after contact from Adcock, heads right into Larry Pearson. This gives Allison some air. What the hell was that about? Jimmy Spencer and Steve Grissom hit the 28 and get heavy damage too. There was also a separate incident involving Mike Swain and Joe Thurman. After all that nonsense, Jack Ingram leads at the restart on lap 73 with Marshall, Gant, Ard, and Evans the top 5. Right after, however, Danny Marshall now leads. Lap 121, after the final round of green flag pit stops, Marshall is still leading, but on lap 127, Rick Mast gets into Terry Labonte, sending him into Harry Gant, and they both go spinning, but there's no caution as they got back on the track immediately. With that, Danny Marshall will hold on, and he will get his 5th win of the season. Despite only running part-time, he wins at Bristol. This race had 1 caution and 9 lead changes among 6 drivers. Marshall's your winner, Larry Pollard 2nd, Grant Adcox 3rd, Sam Ard 4th, Richie Evans 5th, Mark Martin 6th, Rob Moroso 7th, Ed Barrier in 8th, Mike Alexander 9th, and Dale Jarrett rounds out the top 10. And heading into the final part of the season, Richie Evans has a 14-point lead over Mike Alexander, Jimmy Hensley only back by 64, Rob Moroso, Larry Pearson, they're right there, but they certainly need to get in victory lane and have some strong runs if they want to have a shot at the championship. And with that, that will close out Part 3 of the 1988 Busch Series season. Part 4 will be the final part of the season, and we will find out at the end of that video who will be the 1988 NASCAR Busch Series champion. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this series, if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button and feel free to subscribe. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Sonic Rules 831, and I will see you in the next video.